All right, I think that's enough of that. Welcome everyone. Dark Sea to Phil here. Uh, just wanted a little break from some real world shit. I thought I'd pop on a stream, quite unannounced, hang out, and celebrate the guy winning his Doki Doki Panic Super Mario Brothers 2 USA run. Oh, what have I done here? What have I done here with my window capture? I'm covering up all my shit. Come on. There we go. Much better. All right. So I figured I would toss up our boy Phil in his final moments in the illustrious Super Mario Brothers 2 USA, and we'll do a little celebratory drawing. So thanks for hanging out, and I hope you enjoy.
Mario Brothers 2. After having played this yesterday, we actually got through 5 worlds in one sitting of 2 hours, which is kind of interesting that I got that far. Oh, whoa, crap.
I think that ought to be loud enough.
Oh, this is where it's going to start to get pretty difficult. This is World 6. This is where every
So
possible
as you
thing
can
is
see
coming
here,
for me.
we got our boy,
Everyone's
Wart,
coming at me, wants me dead.
looking a lot like our boy Phil.
Let's see how this goes.
Actually, hop over here real quick. Here we go. Here's what we're working on today, and I'm gonna do myself a little mashup, a
Oh,
mashup of the
yes,
guy, of the King of Hate
it's
himself,
Lucian, but I got
and everybody's
Doki
favorite
Doki,
Frog Daddy.
Pokey. We got the
And of course, we're
really
gonna be
flashy
super
Luigi with
generous,
some jumpy flaps.
super
Oh
kind,
no, I
very
accidentally got
positive.
stuck in the quicksand. It looks like an anonymous person has tipped me. Thank you for that.
And I was
I'll check
actually
that out in a moment.
just catching up not too long ago
Progress is after I
on
was
some
moved out.
restreams of
Oh,
last night's events,
it's a
and
shell in the game.
it was the
So,
normal shit show, so I wasn't surprised
what the?
whatsoever.
Oh!
But I thought to myself, man, it would be really fun to do a Phil
Seo says it would be funny
Wart
if this
drawing,
match
and I
went
think
into
it'd also be
elimination
pretty
too,
quick
but let's
too.
see
So
tomorrow. I would almost
figured,
guarantee
what the
you
hell, what a
that
fun thing to do
Doki
to
decided to
sort of
segment
split
on
up
the
my
stream
day.
because he was saying that the graphics are insanely good in this game. Like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So we're starting off
Who
by drawing this
knows what
big
tomorrow
rotund. Oh, god damn it,
brings?
Phil, you and your fucking ads. Get out of here. Get out of here. How many fucking ads did you stuff into this, you prick?
Like, the visuals are really, really good
God
for this
damn.
game, so.
I need to get a
Let's
fucking ad
see.
block.
An anonymous tipper to me $5 said I am the mighty god
That
champion
happens
Phil.
again, I'm cutting them off.
Just as good.
I
I am
don't really
Democrat in
care.
mind, along with King Phil. All right, here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
get him out of here.
Don't agree with any of those statements. But thank you for the anonymous tipper.
Oh god, this is gonna be horrendous. I can
Those
already
are strong
feel it.
positive statements. They could have been way
I'm
worse, and
gonna
I
end
really
up
appreciate it.
drawing this
But so
fat,
far,
disgusting fuck,
very positive
and I'm
statements.
gonna be kind of grossed out by it because it's not
Okay.
gonna be a frog. It's gonna be Phil.
Phew.
Phil.
All right. Sup asks, is this one of my favorite Mario games? This game
Sup
is the ultimate
ass.
anomaly. You know, it's so different from Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario World.
Man,
It's just
the resemblance is uncanny.
it really is a weird
Not gonna
anomaly. I
lie.
don't know how else to describe it, right? And I enjoy it. I still like it. Like I'm still having fun with it. A lot of these things I'm getting past, I think, faster than I thought I would. Like, look at
But you
this.
gotta ask
Look
yourself
at this.
important questions as you create art like this. Like, does the saggy chin, do the saggy chin and jowls,
Right
do
on
they
right foot
hang over the gut,
communication. Wondering if there could be something over
or
here.
does
Let's
the
try it
gut
anyway.
take
Might as well.
precedence?
Let's try it anyway.
What's the ratio
Absolutely nothing. Son of a bitch. I thought
of
maybe
head
this
to
would be
gut? These are all important questions we have to ask. I think we got to dial this back a little bit.
The music is so classy.
That feels good.
What's funny is the theme song from this game I remember hearing not only in the game, but oddly enough, when they made
Good
the
lord,
Super
why am
Mario
I doing
Brothers
this to
TV
myself? I've
show,
already heard all this
the Super
fucking
Mario
nonsense today.
cartoon, all right, it
The
actually
Super
had
Mario Brothers cartoon with live action segments. Did you know that
hold
that
on, pause.
existed in the 90s,
Remember you
guys?
can't
Did
pause
you
when you're in one of
know?
these? Hold on a
Were
second,
you
let me try again.
aware?
You can't pause when you're in a pot. I had no idea.
Hey, what's
Interesting.
up, Rampant Bonsai?
All
Big
right, so
ups,
let me.
man. Sorry, I forgot to have my chat actually pulled up.
Interestingly
Good to
enough,
see you.
the
Good to see
soundtrack
you.
and the
Thanks for
characters from
hanging
this
out.
game in the cartoon of Super Mario Brothers on TV, they kind of skipped Super Mario 1, even though it was called the Super Mario Brothers
That's
theme
right,
song.
Phil.
They skipped Mario 1, and
They
the cartoon
skipped
was
the
Super
whole the
Mario
whole
2.
deep plot of Super Mario 1.
Likely it was because
Tell
Mario
us
2
why.
was the latest one at the time when the cartoon came out, and then eventually they did a Mario 3 and Super Mario World cartoon as well. Although Super Mario
Oh,
World was
okay.
really weird. Super
Look, I love Mario as much as the next guy, but is there a fucking plot? Is there a fucking plot to Mario? Does that
It's probably
exist
here.
outside of Princess is kidnapped? Get Princess back.
Okay. Oh man, this is it's gonna be tricky.
Oh my god, he's even got the big fucking grubby
Oh.
hands. Look at this. This is the resemblance here. It's uncanny.
Oh my God! One of those
I'm gonna
pockets
start to
hit
lose
me
track
perfectly.
over or lose track of who I'm drawing here.
Oh.
But anyway,
See
I
now,
think
it's
this should
got to
be
be
a,
two
a
different
quick,
things. It won't have
a
anything to do
quick,
with it.
fun little stream. It's been a long, long couple of days here in the homestead, and I thought to myself, it'd be nice to come hang out with you goons
Oh my God! It's gonna take an
and
hour.
have a few laughs at Phil's expense.
It's gonna take so long. Oh, this must be it. This is probably it. There's no reason
And we
why it can't be.
absolutely
It's just
can't
weird that
forget,
it isn't down there. There's the face that's gonna chase me too. And I have
can't
no
forget
health, man. This sucks.
the big piggy snout. So we may be mashing him up with a frog, but some things are classic. Some things you got to hold on to no matter what. But we can definitely give him Wirt's big mouth, the
Oh,
mouth that he uses for feasting.
get in there. Oh boy, I should make a save state.
Dude,
Oh
the fucking
boy,
amount of save scumming he
boy.
did on this fucking game.
Did I like the Super Mario Brothers
I mean, I
movie
know
or
that's kind of
cartoon
become
better?
the
No
status
doubt.
quo,
I
but
mean, the
it's so
cartoon was so
fucking
cheesy. Every
weird.
word out of the
Like,
Mario Brothers was a pun
I
about
don't know.
pasta
I
or
get
something
it. I
Italian
get
or
it if you're
funny.
just trying to see
I mean, we
the
don't know if
ending of
the
shit.
live action movie
And
had
even if he
really
were just
nothing to do with the
being like
original
open and
cartoon
honest
at
about
all.
that from the get-go and saying, "Look, I'm just here to
Shit.
do this and
I
to
get it.
see the end of this," but he's doing this weird thing where he's like wants to claim on his streams that he's defeated Super Mario Brothers 2. He beat it. And it's just like, no,
Oh,
you
there's
fucking
sometimes
didn't.
okay. Oh,
You
I screwed
fucking
up
didn't.
again.
Well, I'm certainly happy to give you something to listen to at work, Bonsai. Um, that's pretty much the biggest reason why I kind of fell into the vortex to begin with. Was
This
um,
is annoying.
aside from I think the same interest in Phil that everybody else has, um, needing something to listen to at work to keep me entertained.
Wow, that worked.
And I think that's a pretty common thing. So the fact that I am able to give that back to somebody else, it's
Shit.
good to hear. That's nice. Makes me feel real good. Makes me feel very like a very
I stared at his head and
robust
hands again.
content creator. I don't like this snout. It's
Not the brightest tool. No, not the sharpest tool in the shed.
not the
Excuse me. Not the
brightest
brightest
tool
tool
in
in
the
the
shed.
house.
That's
Yes.
right, Phil.
All
So
right.
not the flashlight, I guess.
Moving to your dream
Oh
home
god
with
damn
a
it.
nice
This
new
fucking
clean
asshole.
color, you need the power of
You're gonna
certified.
get me in trouble, prick.
All right, on to Toad. Remember, each stage I'm changing characters, so now on to Toad. 6-2.
Should have just downloaded this. I wonder if
Since
that's
I'm really
I
watching
wonder if it
along with
kills
you,
the ads if I
so hopefully
download
it
it. I
wouldn't
wonder
bug
if
me
that's
too
even a
much with
thing.
the on-screen background. That's it. That's the Super Mario Bros. Super
Tweets
Stage.
retro games are
There's
awesome,
a
but he's a
frog man
horrible
on
time
there.
playing
A
them.
guy who I don't remember playing as
Yeah,
Mario
yeah,
Luigi
well,
live action version.
I can't even check his
This sounds
tweets, and to be
Go to
honest with you, I
Mario
don't even
Brothers and
necessarily
Element.
care enough
Okay.
to
Do, 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 do,
I
do,
don't
do.
necessarily care enough to
Get hooked on the
go through the
brothers.
usual
Dun,
methods
dun,
to
dun,
God damn
dun,
it, shut
dun,
the
dun,
fuck
dun.
up.
So I did what you need to do in
I
this
don't
stage.
care to
Now
go
on
through
to
the
Toad.
methods
Yes, I'm not
to
happy.
see the
This was
tweets
close.
that I otherwise can't, if you know what I mean.
Shit.
'Cause,
Well, I already fucked up.
I just don't give a fuck enough about what he says outside of his streams anyway. I'm thoroughly entertained by the stupid shit he says in his streams.
Nice.
I will always
Nice.
maintain uh, exactly what Keemstar said in that
All right,
last
you're
that
right there.
last sort of
Now
clap
drag
back to
forward
Phil,
again.
which was that
And then you drag all the way backwards
he
to
is
the left, and drag
entertaining,
all the way
just
forward
not
again.
the way he thinks he is, and that I will cop
Oh
to.
my god, this ultra slow-mo kill. Ultra slow-mo pumpkin toss. That was awesome.
There we go. Make sure we got this nice gaping void with the jowls, complete with the jowls.
Okay,
Let's
ready?
give him the
Here we go.
Mario style, mouth style, teeth style.
Here we go. Do, 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 do. Wait a minute. I'm in a save state, right? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. See, I can't figure out about Birdo again. I don't
Nice.
think it really matters. At the end
Dude,
of
the
the day,
fucking amount of times he talked
there's no
about
debate of who's
Birdo
supposed to be a male or female.
being a male, female, a
There's not really much of
cross-dresser,
a debate these days.
trans,
What
I don't
happens
know,
is
was
you
fucking
get male or female debate.
ridiculous. It was fucking
Doesn't
ridiculous.
matter to me. They're welcome to be whatever they want. How about that?
It's like he's got
What
nothing.
happens
I don't.
is
He's got nothing else to
whoever
say, so he just
gender
keeps
identity
going
they
back to
want.
the
How
well,
about
and the
that?
well is fucking poison.
You
The
did it.
well is pure poison.
There we go. So we have a annoying
Yeah, I've
trend in
seen the
the chat
bot,
room. It's not that I do
Bonsai,
this,
the
but
bot
super
that
chat do this
reposts
every
his
time I
tweets,
play.
and I'm
Just
pretty.
to
I
know
feel
what
like I
everybody gets.
follow it, but I don't know. I guess I just don't get fed it all that
Are you with
often,
the boss
because a
already?
lot of
It
times when I
seems
do see it, I think
really
to myself,
hard,
oh yeah, it's been
but I
fucking
remember
ages
having to do it. It wasn't hard at all.
since I've actually seen anything from this bot. And again,
Nice.
I don't know, unless I think that I think the community does such a good job of putting the stupid shit that he says
Actually,
out
there's a
there to
toy.
begin
Watch this.
with,
Just come over here.
like
Get
any
on.
of his stupid tweets. So I don't really feel like
Yeah. You
I
can't do
ever
anything
miss
about it.
any of the really good ones, I guess.
Missed. Done. Super easy. It's funny because the
I feel
first
like
stage
whenever
was
he
hard
does a
because
really
all
fucking
these things
proper
you
stupid
gotta do
one,
bird stuff in this
I
one.
know about it. So I guess I
There we
haven't
go.
felt the need
We're
to
already on
dig any
stage
deeper.
3, just like that. And
Just
honestly,
like
each
the
stage has beats. Wow, Toad had a very little screen time there.
Jesus Christ, this is horrendous.
All right. Very nice.
We're gonna go with the crown today, and not the you know who hat,
You know there's
because
no mushroom here.
this is the Kang. He's the Kang.
Huh.
You can't mix a king with a king and not
Oh,
have a crown.
no mushroom here either.
This mashup is what it is.
Look at this cave. That's a spooky cave. Look at the big ass door. Bombs.
I don't know if you actually saw the it's kind of funny after we were talking the other day on the
Oh,
stream
I have no
about
idea
sort
what
of
you're doing.
the
Well done, Jay.
people using, I guess, detracting as a is kind of a platform
So his name is
to
Birdo.
sharpen
But
skills
he'd
and
rather be
practice their
called
trade.
Birdo.
Meerkat did an
What?
awesome
I
video
get it.
that was pretty much to the tune of that, and I thought it
All
was
right,
great.
let's not do this.
Kind
Let's
of
not do this
he
argument.
summarized that
Because
sentiment
since the characters are
really
animated,
well about just all
no
the
way the
different
person
things
in this real life would care.
you can kind of you can
This
kind of
is not
use
really thumbnail
fucking with Phil
animation.
for.
You see?
Went quite a
Could be
bit
different.
deeper with it than I did,
You
but
can't
it made a
offend
lot
someone
more
that's not
sense
real.
too. So
They don't exist. Could be offended at anything you do.
I feel like I gotta put some clothes on this motherfucker.
See what I did there?
It's just gonna
Oh!
disgust me if I don't. But
See what I did there? All
I
right.
don't know. I also kind of like the big fat belly, big fat hairy belly just hanging out.
Oh no. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Oh, my beautiful potion.
Wonder if our
My
boy will be in the
beautiful
next Smash.
potion.
Phil, not Wart. Or I guess this Phil Wart
Man, I
hybrid
gotta
that
go
I'm going out of
fast.
my way to create here. You know what? That open, maybe it's that open leg. You see this? I get way too fucking concerned with how all this shit
Still
looks
mushrooms. You can see
for
the
what it is.
action taking
But
place and stuff.
maybe it's that open leg look that's bothering me.
Keep in mind, I'm not looking to warp or any secret items. I'm just looking to succeed. So I don't really
Let's do
care.
this way. Let's do this way because I kind of like
Secret. I just want to pass it. See? So screw that. All right.
how the cape is not just it's not a cape. It's the vest hangs over here, and I want to make sure I got the vest in there because hats come and go, but the vest is forever.
Oh crap. Nice. This D-pad is so finicky. The D-pad barely works. Stupid Nintendo
Look at
Pro
that.
controller.
Look at that. Now the only thing I think I got to do is push this.
Working.
Got to push this belly a little bit.
Shy guy. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Fuck that.
There we go. Much better.
Okay.
Actually positive. DS positive. That one always makes me laugh. Yeah. God damn it. Fucking ads. Fuck off.
Cody Carl's Raw
You
and
see, I'm not even
Unedited
paying
Jen.
attention
That's
to them
another
anymore. I got to
Mario
do
game
something
that's
about
pretty
that.
good. I probably have to think pretty hard. I don't think there's any Mario games I dislike. Okay, you know what? I take that back. I totally remember. Super Mario Land on the Game Boy is kind of shitty because, number one, originally the original Game Boys, you couldn't really see the screen very well, even if you were in the correct lighting and everything. The screens had extreme ghosting and issues where it was really hard to
Extreme
read.
ghosting.
And Super Mario Land, there's two of them actually on Game Boy.
Does motherfucker
They're
even have
very
a
hard.
Game Boy?
They are not
I was
easy
thinking
games.
about that earlier
They
tonight.
actually
He's
have
talking
elements not present in other Mario
earlier
games.
tonight, earlier today while I was
He
listening to
weighs
this. He
that
was
much.
talking about he was
In
getting
fact,
asked
he barely sleeps. He weighs
during
40
his
pounds.
Q&A all
The
these
fact that he
fucking
barely
questions
sees the
about
screen
different old
tells you
consoles and
that
stuff,
he
and it
the
got me
Game Boy
thinking. Like,
lets him
I
do what
know
he desires with it.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
gatekeep
a
and
lot of
say
it's
that
free, but
gamers need to have all these different consoles and stuff. But for somebody who
I don't know
had
how
the
am I
money
supposed
that
to
he
do this.
had
He shoots
and
perfect moves.
wants to, I guess someone who
He's
wants to
shooting
sort
max
of
speed to kill you.
put
I don't know how
himself
he's supposed to
out
get
there
up.
the way he likes to put himself out there on the
It's
internet,
tough.
you would think there wouldn't be these entire chunks
Oh,
of
the ladybug.
gaming
Listen,
history that
let me say this. When the
he
ladybug
has
moves
no
and he just stops
fucking
firing.
relationship with whatsoever. Like, never played any
Sure.
of it.
Okay.
Never had these old
You can play that
consoles.
game.
It's fucking weird to me. So what platform or what program do you use to draw? Yeah, I am on a tablet. I'm on a
I love
it's
this game
called
because,
an
like I said, this
XP
is music
pen,
you play
which
with
is the
other friends.
actual
You can,
pen tab. It's these
I play a
really
lot of his games, so I love this theme
phenomenal
song.
and very
And in a lot of ways, I
affordable
like this theme song more than the Mario Brothers original theme
pen
song.
tabs
I do. I think it's really good.
that I actually kind of bought out of cost necessity, but now I don't
Okay,
think
well,
I'll
so do
ever go
I.
back to like a Wacom, like the really expensive guys. These things are a lot better in my opinion. I
Okay.
just think it functions better. It's easier to
Jason,
use.
listen
It's
to
less
Mario Brothers Super
finicky,
Show.
in
I
my
was watching
opinion.
it as a little kid. It's a really
Um,
funny show. It certainly wasn't
and
for
the
kids.
program that I use, this is
It really
Autodesk
wasn't
Sketchbook.
lowbrow. No,
Actually,
for kids, but it
I
was
popped it up here.
entertaining
You
in
can
my
probably see
opinion.
it
There's clouds up
there.
there. You
No,
see that?
maybe not. I've got it cropped
There's
off.
cloud
Anyway,
platforms up there. I can't
yeah.
really
So
see them.
Autodesk Sketchbook is it used to be free. Now it's not free, but I think it's only like $20. But I think it's probably the most. Once you get used to it, it has a very unique interface and a unique way that it operates. But once you get used to it, I really think it's kind of the most user friendly drawing software. Because for all the stuff you can do with Photoshop and
Super
all the
Mario,
stuff that people can do with Photoshop, at the end of the day, Photoshop is still something that was created to edit
Yes,
photos.
Donkey Kong is the original Mario.
Is as
Mario
stupid and
is the
obvious a
original
thing as that
Mario.
is to
The
say,
original character.
but
He's the
this
hero.
this was built from the
He's even
ground
Bob.
up to just be
That is true.
something you
Oh,
could
that's a
sketch
really
and do
good point.
digital
They put
artwork on, and I
different
think
music
that
so
difference
it's more
shows. I really do. I think
interactable,
that difference comes
like
through.
outstanding, even though the game is so way different from the first ones. You're right. It's a good point.
I had a Wacom way back in the day, been looking to get back into it. Yeah, it's well, and so I think this thing, I think it's the 24E, so it's 24 inches wide. I think it cost me 500.
What
Um,
the? I did
but
not get
a
invited in.
Wacom of the same
I barely
size,
use
you're
social
looking at a
media.
few thousand
Media sets
dollars.
never get enough of
So,
my body, but okay.
and then the other thing I
I
liked
didn't see
about
it.
this company, and I know I'm,
Concept.
shilling for this
Some of
company
this
now, but
cartoon's been pretty good.
I
Like
really
the
like
pieces
their
from
stuff and I
earlier.
believe in it.
Kind of read thinner.
They gave two
A little on the
pens,
tired side, but
um, two
that's about
pens, a
it.
charge cable for the pens, and the thing comes with its own built-in
That's usually
stand, so you don't have to
best
buy a
because
separate
sometimes
stand
the
and all
best
that
help
shit
to
like you have to do with, or
Mario
like you
2
do with a
off is
Wacom.
just
So
the
I
soundtrack.
personally think it's great.
A
I
lot,
think
a lot of
they're,
people could argue they're
I
inferior,
think
but for me,
if they could just get, sort of,
series, right? Yeah,
I guess,
for sure.
corporate creative America on board with outfitting people en masse, they could really gain some market share on Wacom.
Woo!
I mean, I've legitimately done my part to tell my employer, you should just
Got
fucking
him.
buy these things. But,
Or her. I
nobody
don't
ever
know. I
listens.
mean,
And I understand.
got
I
them.
understand. It's their money.
Got them.
So,
Okay, now for the real
look
business.
at our boy here. God damn, look at our boy. I don't know if I've ever been happier with a drawing.
Oh, Lord, return of Tri Cly.
I do feel like he needs some sort of
Okay,
medal.
Definitely going to help here.
Like Wart's got this medal here. The question is though, what's it
Oh!
going to be?
The
What should be
big
hanging from Phil's
shot.
chest? What am
Got
I
me.
missing here?
Yes, to say, oh, I would
If
like
the
to see
Kang
Destroy All Humans 2 remake or
wore a
reboot.
necklace on the
Actually, I
regular,
think.
what would be on that pendant?
Wow, the weird thing about these mushroom blocks, they weigh a lot. Sometimes, if you just press the button neutral and press press no direction, the block will actually go straight down. If you hold a slight direction, they'll start moving forward with momentum. But sometimes you'll try to do one, and the other one will come out, and it's very annoying. The other annoying part is that this controller sucks. It really does. The
You know
movement
what?
of
He
this
is the king of
controller,
retro.
it's not good for classic games. It's okay for modern games, but it really stinks for classic games. It drops inputs quite a bit, I've noticed.
There we go. That'll work. That looks good.
So what I did there, you throw and you can hold jump with pace, and
I'm
you
gonna have this
float.
disappear underneath his chin. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Got him.
Just a nice, quick
Threw it
doodle
over the fireballs. And if people say, was it
that I
lagging?
can
Yes,
line
for
up
me,
real
you
quick.
can do it.
Hell
Again, no,
yeah.
because life can't. Why not use the Hori controller? Because it's over there somewhere. I didn't bother getting it. I've been using this for months and months. So.
Oh, I
Alright,
fucking
well,
loved that
we're in the
too.
finale, guys. This is World 7.
Someone
We
asked
have
him
only
why
two
he
levels
didn't use
left.
his
This is
fucking
the big
expensive
finale.
special
This is the most
controller.
hardest
He's
part is
just got
getting
so much
everything else.
bullshit laying around that other people have paid for. They can just, fuck it. Fuck it. I just don't feel like touching it anymore.
Yeah.
And why would I? So I have all the things and everyone else has paid for them.
Save it till I need it, right?
I think that's what infuriates me more than anything about Phil is
I didn't need it.
even more
Right
so
now.
than just the begging is the the wastefulness and lack of care once he actually gets what he wants is really fucking annoying and stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a better way to do this next time because I can't stand
Yeah.
that I'm honestly supporting this guy
I stole a mushroom
uh,
block.
by letting ad runs on this shit. In fact, you know what? We're gonna stop that. That's exactly why I'm gonna stop. I can't take it. It's gonna drive me fucking nuts. I just got to keep learning how to make this better. It's another thing to mark on the list of shit that probably should have been obvious, and I'm yeah, just too stupid to know. And I'll figure out for next time. But I can't handle the idea that he's sitting here sucking off, okay, sucking up ad money because of me. I say it's changed from Leanna Day. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought about that. I was sitting there talking about like what would he wear on his neck, and he had that stupid fuck. Well, it was a gold chain, right? But nah. I mean, he has it. I've just hung something from it. I think we're getting the best of both worlds here. But anyway, yes, I just can't stand seeing a guy be so goddamn wasteful with all this shit. As somebody who makes a similar amount of money annually to Phil, but still comfortably supports a family of four and a swarm of pets on that same amount of money. It's like he can't. He's never gonna fucking convince me. Never gonna convince me that he's been doing everything right and just straight up can't afford anything. It's bullshit. Hey, Phil Collins, what up? Pickups. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, he never. That's the great man. Okay, so that was before my time, but that's been another sort of Phil classic banger that has always floored me, and I never understood. Like, how can you, even if it's the first car you've ever purchased, there have been commercials, advertisements, people just generally talking about things that they have to do, like errands they have to run their day-to-day life. There is a million different ways that a human being can learn about the necessity for an oil change in a car. And so to have it fucking break down and your only defense to be that no one told you it was necessary, that's fucking insane. It's like, what fucking planet do you live on? I mean, that's a borderline impossible level of just disconnected from reality, but it is Phil, so it's probably not as impossible as I'm selling it here. Got to get some ripples from the upper part of the nose in there. They never told him to change it, dude. That's right. And yes, thank you, Bonds. I know I will. I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, I'd watch a stream and see somebody else fucking up, and I'd laugh. So I hope somebody gets a good laugh out of the idiot who didn't think to find a way to avoid ads. But whatever. I think we all know. Like you don't even have to have watched the end of the Super Mario Brothers 2 slash Doki Doki Panic playthrough to know how it fucking went. He was shitty. It sucked, and he save scummed as much as his ego could handle. As much as his ego could handle. He did actually say afterwards, when I think it was during his Q&A, somebody asked him the fuck he was talking about is I think they were like someone tipped him and said, "Why don't you just save after every hit?" Which, yeah, because he doesn't give a shit. So why not? And he's like, "Oh, well, I didn't want to cheat." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you save scummed your way through the entire game, but now this is the bridge too far. Doing it after every hit on the final boss, that's the bridge too far. Okay. BMW should have emailed him. BMW should have shown up to his house completely unannounced, fully prepared to oil up that vehicle. Period. No questions asked. And who knows? Maybe they didn't even have it back when all this shit went down, or it wasn't as common. But I, for the first time, so I've had cars before, but I, for the first time in the last year, purchased a car that was pretty new. It wasn't brand new, but it was pretty damn close. Like I got a killer deal on a 2020 vehicle that had almost no mileage on it, right? And one of the things the dealer just threw in by default was regular services, and they actually built into the dash of the car a timer that reminds us, and they sent us mail, and they send us text messages, all this stuff constantly saying, hey, it's probably about time to service your vehicle, so be sure to bring it in. Though it's I think about that and I'm like, any one of those things in and of themselves would be fine. They're sending all of them. That's amazing. And you can't tell me that something as high end as a BMW wasn't doing something like that for years. Like he just wasn't fucking paying attention. I guarantee it. He just wasn't paying attention. So the drawing program I'm using is called Autodesk Sketchbook. Um, Used to be free. I think it's $20 now. I still have it from back in its free days. I have the execute the what do you call it, the exe file, the installer. That being said, I would easily pay the $20 for this because I think it's great. It's my favorite. It's my favorite drawing program. I fell in love with it during an internship where it was introduced to me years ago, and I've never looked back. I just think it's great. I'm trying to remember who purchased it because that's why it went from free to use to $20. It was purchased by a bigger company, and I couldn't tell you who because I haven't paid attention. I don't really need to. Because the other thing is, it's there are small little quality of life improvements here and there, but it doesn't really get major overhaul, updated, or versions. So I haven't had the need to upgrade this in probably 4 years. It just hasn't been necessary, so I just haven't done it. Especially because I, in a weird way, I don't want anybody. I don't want to load this up and then find that all this stuff has changed when I'm just super comfortable with my layout. I've got all these custom brushes that I've created. I just don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want to fuck with it. I have a copy of this at work that I work with, and I keep that one updated because I have to. IT does that for me. So, you know what? Clip Studio. I actually tried that. I'd say probably about a year ago because I won't get into the details, but obviously drawing Philip is practice, not passion. Um, and I do, let's just say I exist on other parts of the internet with personal creative projects. And to possibly enhance one of those projects, I downloaded the demo for Clip Studio because I was told over and over again how good it is. And maybe it is, but I don't know. It didn't feel right to me. I didn't really fall in love with it super quick, and it just felt like it was going to have to be another interface and another program to learn. And to be honest, like I learned this, I learned Photoshop, I learned Illustrator, I learned ZBrush to do 3D sculpting. Like after a while, I'm just like, I don't want, I don't know, getting to be an old man. I guess I'm set in my ways. I just don't want to learn a bunch of new stuff. Um, I've had people tell me for years to get an iPad, which is an easy easy thing to say in and of itself since they're fucking expensive. But I know for a fact, even though I love this program, I know for a fact that the best art program, digital art program in the world right now, 2D anyway, is Procreate. But it's an Apple exclusive, and I don't have an Apple product, nor do I feel the need to get one. I like what I've got. So yeah, CS. We have CS specifically because the missus has needs for it. So I have access to CS outside of the access I have to it through work. Because again, working in a creative industry, I do have access to the Adobe Creative Suite through work. Um, but I just like this. This is my jam. It's just kind of that simple. This is the tool. This is the tool that I prefer. Um, you know, there's always a debate going on when you're especially when you're working in a corporate setting, a corporate creative setting, which is always so fucking weird to say, but it's what I do. Um, Everybody always wants to debate what the best programs are, and what's more, the company always wants to know what the best programs are because if they had their way, they'd get everybody working on the same programs to save money, so they're not paying all these subscription fees and stuff. And that's always one of the biggest debates because you have people, you know, you'd have people who would just flat out say, if you didn't let us use Photoshop anymore, I'd walk. And I completely understand that. I think it's a totally viable argument. Now at the end of the day, they're going to do what the company tells them to do, but you know, telling a bunch of creatives, here's your one tool you get to use, and you don't get to use anything else. It's like going to a traditional artist and handing them just a pencil, and saying, "This is it. This is all you get to use, and nothing else." And don't get me wrong, a good artist will get you something out of it, and all these people could get you something out of it. The people that I work with, but they wouldn't get you their best, and they'd be miserable doing it. And unfortunately, creatives kind of we tend to be a moody bunch, and sometimes we have to be courted and catered to emotionally too, for better or worse. It just is what it is. After watching some vids on it, I looked into it, a lot of work to a lot of work to set what up. Is that are you talking Creative Suite? Because Autodesk Sketchbook is like the definition of plug and play. This thing's easy. Now, if you're talking about the XP pen, I promise you, it's not too bad. It's definitely not like Wacom as far as pen tabs go. They're the industry standard for a number of reasons, and I feel like one of those reasons is that they are 100% plug and play. Like you just put those things in and they're ready to go. But honestly, the only thing I had to do with my XP pen um, was color adjustments, just messing with it until I could ensure that the colors I was putting out were the colors that I wanted, and that took a little bit of time, but it wasn't, it definitely didn't break me, and um, I'd still recommend this pen tab, even though that's the case. You know what, Phil Collins? I think that's awesome. I actually, the school that I went to get the job that I have, as I went to a very specialized program, because I work in a very specialized field. Excuse me. So they made us start for an entire year working entirely old school, analog, whatever you want to call it. It was all pen and paper, and a lot of people complained, but it was just like I got the reasoning behind it. They wanted us to learn. They wanted us to learn how my industry got to where it is, we could we could help push it forward, right? Like you have to you kind of, I shouldn't say you have to. That's not really true. You ought to know. You ought to know where you ought to know where what you do for a living came from, so that you can, I guess, sort of shepherd it forward. So that never really bothered me. Plus, I will say I had the advantage of all the artwork that I did prior to going to school, like the portfolio that got me into this school in the first place. Was luckily, it was just pure luck. It was mostly using all the same tools and techniques that they were teaching. So I got there and was kind of ahead of the curve to begin with. Um, but then once we got to the digital stuff, like this was a mountain to climb. I stunk. I stunk horribly on digital artwork, and I would argue I still have a whole hell of a lot to learn. Um, but that's kind of what's fun about it. I'm far from the best digital artist who's ever lived. I see guys every day on social media that make me just think, I'm just gonna pack it up. Like there's no point to me even trying this anymore. Obviously, I don't do that, but sometimes you feel that way. Just setting up the interface. Every time I change something, it wouldn't save the next time. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of fucking weirdness like that in these programs too. Actually, the XP pen that I have, and I bring this up because it's a similar situation. There are buttons like quick keys going all up and down the side of this thing, and that's one of the downsides to it is so you can go in and program all these buttons like hotkeys, right? So you press the third button down, it does this and does this and this. And I went through the trouble of programming all of them, and I put labels on all of them, and I was really excited because I had always fought against using the buttons on the pen tab. I'm very much like a reach my hand over to the computer and do my quick keys there kind of guy. And what ended up happening was every time I relaunched the computer, they would erase. They would just erase, and I can't. I tried to troubleshoot it, I couldn't figure it out, and I finally just realized, like I'm trying to force myself into this way of working that I honestly I just don't even I never wanted to in the first place. But I just kind of felt like the buttons were there. I paid for the buttons. I should try to use them. Um, but I just gave up on it. Like I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to bother because I was just getting really annoyed by it and didn't want to mess with it anymore. So So I have these buttons with labels on them, and I kind of still chuckle every time I look at them because they don't do shit. They certainly don't do what the labels claim they do. My school's fun, but a massive ripoff. We were the first class through, so guinea pigs. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah, I there's a very small handful of schools um, that in that specialize in what I specialized in, and you can kind of tell something like very similarly. You can kind of tell who came from what school just when they talk about their experience without them even telling you. Because I was lucky enough to go to a school that had like 30 years of experience before I ever even got there. So they kind of had their stuff buttoned up, but some of the newer programs they really struggled. They struggled to get their bearings because it's just they're new. They're newer, I should say, at it. So I get that. It is a bummer to hear that anybody went through an entire creative program though and had to deal with that. I don't ever like to hear that. Especially as someone, not to say I've ever been a full-time teacher, but I have done some I have done some, let's just say, on the side educating in my industry, and you know, you want to see people who are coming up and are trying and are enthusiastic about your about what I guess what they're training to do, then turn around and succeed and do something with it. I wasted potential is probably my single biggest excuse me, pet peeve, which is also one of the many reasons I can't stand Phil. But because contrary to popular belief, he had potential. He just blew it all because he had all this momentum shit he was doing early on. But anyway, um, I hate wasted potential and seeing people have their potential wasted, especially when it's really no fault of their own. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow viewing it from the outside. I can't imagine, being the person whose potential has been wasted. It drives me fucking nuts. You know what I'm gonna do here? Let's just go full screen on this ish. Sick of sick of looking down and seeing Phil, especially since I'm not gonna play his video. Besides, we're looking at Phil. We're looking at the guy right here, clear as day. Although I have given him this like oddly yellow skin. That's one thing I need to save on my palette somewhere. I need to just save a legitimate skin tone so that maybe one day I can stop having to take 5 or 6 tries before I actually get an appropriate skin tone. Because as you can see, I'm very bad at it. I'll look in my palette like, oh, this looks good, and this is a great skin tone, and it's disgusting. Looks like a jaundice monster. Our teachers are amazing. I felt bad for them. We had guys from Rockstar. Oh wow, yeah, damn, yeah. That is definitely a killer's row of instructors for sure. I can tell you went through a special course too, because that was the thing. That was one of the allures of my alma mater is um, that you're taught by industry professionals. And so that's actually when I reference the my limited scope of educating within my field. That's really what it is um, being brought back on a circumstantial basis to help with different parts. Like they're in this part of the program, they need help with this, and someone there at the program says, "Oh, well, this guy was good. He could do this really well," and you just get a call. You get a call and say, "Hey, you want to take a couple of bucks to come in and help us out?" And like I said before, I got mouths to feed. So if somebody's gonna toss me a couple of bucks to just come in and essentially do what I'm good at, I'll do that. You know, why not? And if somebody offers you $50,000 to get together with 2 other guys and do what you're all good at, of course you turn that down. No question, you turn that down because they're the scumbags, not you. Right? Right. Swear to God, I've watched Phil for too long. I've picked up so many, like when you when you say shit as a joke and then it hits a point like you evolve and you start unironically just saying shit completely unintentionally because you've heard it so many times. That's kind of a lot of Phil's stupid euphemisms. I swear, I would say them to laugh to myself, and they've slowly worked their way into my vernacular, and it's sad. I feel like I've been infected, for lack of a better way to look at it. I feel like I've been infected. My brain is being turned into Swiss cheese by this guy. Well, there's also opportunities that crop up. That's the thing about, and I don't know if your school was this way, but that's the thing about these courses and having people come in on sort of a provisional basis, which I think is just something that happens a lot in like industry specific courses, because you want the allure of having working professionals teach, and so that's what they go get. But then the reality is, if something happens, um, somebody gets an opportunity, they do what they should do and they go pursue that opportunity. Like I'll level with you. I had to, this school that I frankly owe my career to, and I've been back since to help them. Um, but I went, what was it? I'm trying to remember what year it was. It was a while ago. But I had a really great opportunity crop up, something that was going to be really good for me and my family. And so it was mid-semester, and I just went in and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore because I've been offered a position and a lot of money to move to the other side of the country." And this was this was well before everybody found a way to do everything online. Well before that. So it's just reality. Sometimes life happens and you got to walk. So while I don't advocate people being dickish and selfish, especially when you do have a family, you got to do what's right for the family. And I think that's probably the coldest take you're going to hear all day, but doesn't make it any less true. Feels through so many good words. Fucking A. I'm not going to say I was ever running around using robust, but it was a good word. Robust was in and of itself a robust word, and it's been fucking ruined. It's been tainted. But then he's got all his like his standard DSP shit that's just so it's so good, and I'm glad that I was around for it. Like oh fuck, I just had a brain fart. What was the one I was just thinking of? Oh, flavor levels. Flavor levels. Whenever he talks about food and he talks about amazing flavor levels, I'm just like, dude, do you fucking hear yourself? Like, what does that even mean? What is a flavor level, and why are we talking about it on a video game stream? Yeah, I think that's I'd say that's probably my favorite. Or what was the one from last night? It was oh, style. Fuck yeah, style. How do you, I mean, how can you hear the word style anymore without thinking of Phil? It's a real style has become a Phil style word. When was it last night, he was referring to the Final Fantasy VII playthrough and where he was at in it as doing some end of disc one style. I fucking laughed just saying it. End of disc one style content. Fucking amazing. Amazing. Like, you can't make that shit up. You could give a lunatic fucking 2 weeks in a head start and they couldn't come up with something that fucking insane. Oh, dude, how his own Italian style, flavorful style restaurant style. Yeah, for real, for fucking real. He's brought that up a few times in the past, and it's always, oh man, like I'd go. I'm not gonna lie, I'd go. I wouldn't go to eat. It'd be kind of like going there to see just how fucking terrible it all is. But I'd well, I shouldn't say I'd go because that's really far away. I don't live anywhere near the Kingdom of Renton. But if it were easy for me to get there, that's probably a better way to put it. If it were actually easy for me to get there, I'd go check out the shit show. And otherwise, I would just want to, and I'd want to see people show up to review it. Got to admit, I'm trying really hard not to go full fill on you guys. I'm feeling gassy today, and I just keep like I'm still not used to sitting under a headset yet. Um, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, try to remember, try not to belch or burp or any of the other shit that you wouldn't have any problem doing if you were just sitting here by yourself working in people's ears. Because I don't have I guess I don't have the muscle memory of proper etiquette all locked up yet. Look at this. Look at this good boy we've created. Gotta say, I think I've done a fantastic job. I'll pat myself on the back for this. This is some this is some good style, artistic style content. Get some shine on that vest. Who doesn't want some shine on the vest? Got to get the reflect light. It's my favorite, maybe my favorite part of coloring a drawing. Get some reflect light on the bottom of the gut. Put some shine on this beautiful chain. Probably do more. Well, no, probably. I could definitely do a lot more to make this look good, but I'm just about out of time for this tomfoolery. So that looks like fun. I think the internet will laugh at it. That's what we're looking for here on the Dark Sea to Phil stream. Will it make the internet chuckle? I think it will. That is ear infection. I always, because I started doing this shortly after, I would say, after the neck phones appeared. So we were still very sort of hip deep in the ear infection saga, or we were just coming out of it, I should say. And so I always want to remind everybody that Phil is disgustingly prone to ear infections. So when I started thinking, like, what are all the things that I almost always, like the signatures that I almost always want to get in my drawings of the guy, and the ear infections are a big part of it for me. He's got them. Nothing he can do. I'm going to quickly put sort of one more level of shade on this, and I think we'll call it a stream. If I forget to say it later, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. This is uh, this is very relaxing and entertaining for me, as stupid as that might sound. So I hope I get to provide a little bit of that to you. Obviously, it's always nice to have somebody to bullshit with, so I'm not just sitting here bullshitting with myself. I've definitely done streams like that in the past, not under the Dark Sea moniker, but I think every streamer has to deal with that at some point. It's tough to sit and just bullshit to yourself. So I very much appreciate it. These nose cavities got to be deeper. His brow. I only realized just recently. when seeing more images of him turning sideways, I never realized just how insanely like Cro-Magnon his brow is, and I'm sure that probably had something to do with the evolution of the Grug meme, and I just missed it. I didn't realize it, but his brow is insane. It is insane how far that shit sticks out. So I need to start caving in the caving in his eye sockets a bit more than I had been in the past. So all right, so next up we're gonna pull away our reference crop because nobody wants to see all this stuff. And we're gonna save it out, and there's our boy. There's our boy King. We'll call him King Fart. King Fart, because why not? It's fucking some stupid shit Phil would say, so I'm gonna say it too. Oh, did I see his new intro? Yes, yes, I did. It made me so fucking happy to hear to hear the gimmick that I took my name from kind of come back around and have a little bit of research. That was nice. It made me laugh. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Yes, very robust brow. Um, well, hopefully I will see you guys again very soon. Yeah, that's all I got. So thanks for hanging out, boys, and peace out. We'll talk to you next time.